Hola YouTubers, it's your girl Jai Gotti, and normally I get on here and I'm very lighthearted and I laugh and I joke around, but I've gotten some messages on both MySpace and YouTube concerning a blog that I had on my MySpace page about losing my best friend to a hate crime a few years ago, and I've gotten so many messages and comments about these incidents that have happened just all over the country, and I can't believe that there are still people that hate and discriminate against gay people so much so that they're willing to take somebody's life or physically harm somebody because of their sexual orientation. That just baffles me. I mean, it's the 21st century. Are people really still doing this? You know, but just a brief rundown of exactly what happened for those of you who don't know. My best friend, ever since I was 3 years old, his birth name was Christian Mejia. When we became of age, Christian made the decision to make a transformation from male to female and became Jaya, the most incredible, fabulous transsexual I've ever met in my life, and such a sweetheart. And you know, people close to him, they really accepted him, you know. And when she became a she, you know, we were cool with it because Jaya was finally happy. And you know, with me knowing my whole life, knowing Jaya as Christian, I would slip up sometimes and say Christian, but you know, I would correct myself just because I felt like I owed her that much, you know. But to make a long story short, and to keep me from getting all upset on YouTube, a straight guy, thought that Jaya was a natural female and attempted to, and this was a guy that we had gone to school with, attempted to pretty much make a pass at her, and we're laughing and we're like, you know, we're gonna tell him off by itself so he won't feel embarrassed. And we're like, you know, dude, this is Christian. And he just flipped out. He's like, I'm not no fucking faggot, and y'all should be ashamed of yourself, and y'all trying to play me. And he's just going off, and he's very angry. And at the time, I was at home on leave from the military, so I still got that army mindset, and I'm like, nigga, you better chill, pump your brakes, because I got army guns for real. So, you know, I'm ready, like, let me get them. Jaya's like, you know, I don't entertain ignorance. So I calmed down. I'm like, you know what, if it ain't bothering her, it ain't bothering me. So we dispersed and we all went home, and this guy and two of his friends followed Jaya home and commenced to beat the hell out of her. And she was beaten very badly. She had a lot of broken bones. Her ribs were broken and punctured her lungs. She stayed in the hospital and stayed alive for about 6 hours in a coma, and then she passed away. Those guys have been convicted and are in prison, and I hope that they rot there and burn in hell when they die. And because of that incident, I became very, very active as far as gay rights, as far as fighting discrimination and hate crimes. I am like super gay activist, you know. And I try to do what I can for my community locally. And I've gotten stories, you know, people sending condolences about what happened to my friend, and people send me in these stories that have happened in their hometowns, and it's amazing to me that stuff like this is still even going on in 2008, getting ready to be 2009, and people really still are disgusted enough by somebody's preference and their sexual orientation that they feel the need to physically harm them or take their life. That just, I can't grasp that. I don't hate anyone's choices so much that I want to hurt them. But just a few things that were sent to me, and some of this stuff is old, but it's just pretty much news clippings that viewers sent in, and my MySpace friends linked to my website or whatever. But in September of 2000, there was a 55-year-old man. And this man's name is Ronald E. Gay. And he started a new job, and his co-workers were teasing him about his last name being Gay. And this man gets so frustrated that he goes into a gay bar. It's called the Backstreet Cafe, and it's in Roanoke, Virginia, and I've personally been there, and it's a nice little joint. It's kind of like The Planet on the L Word, for those of you who watch that. This young man goes in here knowing that this is a spot where gays and lesbians convene after work, and screams out that he is the Lord soldier and that Jesus does not want these people in his heaven, and opens fire and shoots 7 people. One of the guys died instantly, and the rest of them were in critical condition, and he did go to prison and was convicted of a hate crime, which holds more weight than just a normal murder. If someone had just flipped out and gone crazy and killed those people just because they were off their rocker, they wouldn't have gotten as much time as if it's labeled a hate crime. So, also, in July 1999, there was a guy named Matthew Williams and his brother Tyler Williams who entered into their gay neighbor's home. There was a gay couple living next door to them in Sacramento, and murdered them. And they released a statement and a recording on the news from Matthew calling home to his mom, and she was asking him, "Son, why did you do such a terrible thing?" And he said he had to obey God's law. What the fuck kind of shit is that, you know? But whatever. And then everybody knows the story of Matthew Shepard, the young gay guy that was killed back in 1998. And I'm in North Carolina right now, so this disturbs me that we have people like that here. I'm not from here, but I'm here now, and I better not ever meet somebody like this, especially not somebody that calls herself a pastor. But a North Carolina pastor wrote in during the trial of one of the guys that killed Matthew Shepard, Aaron McKinney, and wrote a letter saying that gay people pretty much are facing the death penalty anyway because they choose to be gay, and that if Aaron had killed a straight person, then he would have to answer to God because the blood would be on his hands. But because he killed a gay person, that it was the gay person's fault, and that he doesn't feel like God is going to judge Aaron for that. What the fuck? I'm like, are people really that narrow-minded, you know? And there's just so many things. I've seen so many, and it's mostly the guys. I haven't seen as much hate directed towards the females, but it's mostly the guys and the effeminate guys that have to deal with so much. I've seen, even when we were in school, and it was before Christian became Jaya, I've seen his car get spray painted when we go out of town, faggot this and butt pirate that, and just crazy stuff. And I'm like, this is one of the sweetest people in the world, and you have not even taken the time out to get to know him. This is what I want people in America to understand, straight and gay. Me being a lesbian, I'm not defined by my homosexuality. I am more than just a lesbian. I'm somebody's mom. I am a soldier. I am, you know, so much stuff other than a dyke. You know, get to know me. Get to know that I'm not defined by my gayness, you know. And I feel like, especially with the guys, I feel like people look at them and they're like, you know what, he's a gay guy, and that's all he is. He's known as the gay guy. It doesn't matter that he's somebody's child, somebody's brother, somebody's cousin, somebody's best friend. He's just the gay guy. And they looked at Jaya like she's just the tranny. She wasn't somebody's brother. She wasn't my best friend. She wasn't one of the sweetest people you ever want to meet. She was just a transsexual and considered an abomination by you closed-minded bastards out there. And I'm like, you know, when is it going to stop? How many people have to get hurt before you realize that a gay person is still a person? We still have feelings. We bleed just like you bleed. We breathe air just like you breathe air. We love and we feel and we care for one another just like straight people do. And like I said, it's something that is very, very important to me. And I'm going to go ahead and end this video before I get all riled up. But like I said, it's just gotta stop. It's getting out of hand, and I feel sorry for anybody who is that ignorant that they feel like they have to harm somebody because of their sexual orientation. I'll pray for you.